Pope Leo is calling for an end to a pandemic of arms after the Minneapolis school shooting. Lisa Carton reports.
Pope Leo is offering prayers for the victims of the shooting that killed 2 children at a Catholic school in Minneapolis.
Prayers for the victims of the tragic shooting during a school mass in the American state of Minnesota. We include in our prayers the countless children killed and injured every day around the world.
Speaking at the Sunday Angelus, the Pope continued by urging the faithful to plead with God. I'm Lisa Carton.
A federal judge is blocking the Trump administration's efforts to deport potentially hundreds of unaccompanied Guatemalan children from the United States to Guatemala. The judge paused the removals and scheduled an emergency hearing for this afternoon after she was told some of the children were already in the process of being deported. Deputy Assistant Attorney General Drew Ensign said it was possible that one flight had already left but came back. Ensign did say all of the children covered in the lawsuit are still in the custody of the U.S. and that planes on the ground will not take off in light of the order. President Trump is in a war of words with Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. In a post on social media Saturday, Trump called Pritzker weak and pathetic and said he must get crime in Chicago under control. Fox News Digital reports that Chicago has seen 5 killed and 35 wounded this Labor Day weekend. Earlier this week, Pritzker said Trump's proposed intervention in Chicago was an authoritarian overreach. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani is in a New Hampshire hospital after being seriously injured in a car crash. Giuliani's spokesman says the 81-year-old suffered a fractured vertebrae, injuries to his left arm and leg, and multiple lacerations after his rental car was hit from behind Saturday night. The New York Post is reporting that Giuliani had been flagged down by a domestic violence victim. He helped the woman, called 911, and waited for police to arrive. When he got back to his car, that's when the former mayor's vehicle was hit from behind. Senator Bernie Sanders is calling for Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to resign. The New York Times published an op-ed from Sanders on Saturday, 3 days after Kennedy fired the head of the CDC, triggering a wave of resignations from the health agency. In his op-ed, the Vermont Independent said, despite the overwhelming opposition of the medical community, Kennedy has continued his long-standing crusade against vaccines. Sanders wrote that as head of HHS, Kennedy is using his authority to launch a full-blown war on science, on public health, and on truth itself. Hundreds of Voice of America employees are being laid off at President Trump's direction. One of the president's advisors to the U.S. Agency for Global Media, Carrie Lake, that over 500 positions were eliminated from the broadcaster and its parent company. The move is aimed at reducing the federal bureaucracy. This comes days after a federal judge blocked the Trump administration from firing the director of Voice of America. I'm Rob Martier.